Welcome everyone, and we are so excited to be here with you today. You know, Hank and I have been traveling a journey with you, and today is a culmination. This is episode 14 of this extraordinary I series, and you know what it's about? I am. And in the I am, I want to invite you. Have you ever heard of the I am energy? Are you familiar with that? Well, you might be because you're here right now. You ever wondered what it really means? Have you been paying attention to what's happening in your life right now in a way that has called you to know more about you? In a way that says, you know what, I'm tired of the fear, I'm tired of the doubt, I'm tired of the hesitancy, I am moving on with my life. Because no matter what the universe throws in front of you, it's because you are ready. You know, many years ago, I learned you are never given more than you can handle, even if it seems like that in the moment. And the embodiment of the I, this entire series leading us up to this culmination, is yours to claim today and put into action so that you may claim that law of instantaneous manifestation through the yoga of self-ascension. And it all begins, ends, continues with I am. And Hank, I'm so excited we're here in episode 14. It's a great time.
What a journey this has been.
Yeah.
To truly dive into oneself and have a better understanding.
Indeed.
I am that I am.
Yes.
You are that you are. Yet are you? Do you welcome, embrace, and deeply feel that beautiful, amazing being that you are? Free and open to fully experience all that you are. All of the insights, all of the understandings that have been shared in this series create an opening for the pathway forward to your conscious awareness and self-ascension. Each of us has the choice to live our true self, to fully experience what it is to be human, to feel the depth of oneself and radiate the light, love, and caring that is innately within.
Ooh, innately within. That is so true. You know, when we give ourselves that gift, when we allow ourselves to be in that energy, that innate knowing, what happens is that we discover. Now, I want to go back a minute, Hank, because we've been on this journey. You know, we have been on this journey for 14 weeks. And for those of you that have been with us, we are thrilled. And for those of you that are just beginning to be with us, welcome. And Hank and I want to let you know that right here at this YouTube channel, and I hope you've already subscribed, but right here at this YouTube channel, if you go look right on the scrolling page there where it will say the I series, you can catch all 14 episodes. And sincerely, this is the moment, because everything has been building, everything has been bringing us to this place of the foundation to bring that oneness, that knowing that you are into conscious awareness. Now, you know, Hank, before we go any further, I think it would be good for us to share with people, and I think it's important for you to remember, what is the one? What is that really about? What is the one?
The one is you. The one is me. And the one is all of us. The one is just really feeling, as I shared earlier, and embracing that beautiful being that you are. Understanding that your value is just the fact that you exist in this here and now. And that's it.
Really breathe that in. Go ahead. I just had to jump in on that because I love that, the value of that, right?
Yeah. You know, we are that we are. And each of us can realize that true beauty that, as I said earlier, is innately within. It is what we have talked about earlier as the known, that beautiful conscious awareness, that growth, and to really experience and manifest all of your dreams, all that you want, and not hold back and not be restricted by barriers that have been caused by what someone may have said, you know, in the past when you were young or not said. And to release.
Right. I think that's really powerful. You know, this is a really powerful point, and this is something that's important to remember, is that as you claim the I am, and I really want to reiterate, because what you were just saying, This is a valuable moment of looking at what is conscious awareness, what is authenticity, what is it to know who you are, and everything that you were just sharing and everything that we have been going through in this series is about releasing those seeds of self-sabotage and embracing the I that you are, I am, we are, all of us. So how do you do that? Well, that's what this series has been about. And how do you do that right now? Well, the first thing is to remember that you are not the story. You are not the facade. Remember, there are 4 knowns. And if you don't know about the 4 knowns, go to the website, iamkira.net, type in the 4 knowns and read about it. Because the 4 knowns begin with the first thing, the first 2 things, right? I am not this body. Right? This body is merely a gift that we are given to play with, work with, feel through. This is why we come, so that we can touch each other, so that we can expand, so that we can remember what it's like. But the second of the 4 knowns is that my mind, right? My mind does not rule me. My mind is my servant. And so in that knowing, that presence that I am, comes with that known energy.
So, Kira, are you
Yes.
saying
Tell me.
that we have the power to give a thought that strength and direct it where we want, or that thought is just a thought?
What do you think?
I think the thought is just a thought, and it does not define you. It doesn't define me. It is only a thought, and that power that you put to that thought will take it in whatever direction you so choose. And that's what it's about. You choosing and putting that energy. As we shared earlier, it's about being present. And presence leads to awareness. And from awareness, you can set an intention, any intention that you want. And with that intention, you can transform and transcend.
So consider that. In order to set a transaction, in order to set an intention, you have to have clarity, right? And so how do you set an intention? You know, many of you often write and go, well, this is great, but, you know, I'm not even sure I know what I want. I'm not even sure I know where to move forward. And some of you are like, hey, I'm up here. I'm already there. Awesome. Because no matter where you are on the journey, we are constantly in an ever-refining spiral. Now, I want you to breathe that in, because as we're moving forward, remember, this series is culminating because the next one's going to begin. And in that culmination, it's important, those 4 steps that Hank just mentioned, that we have been talking about and discussing through this entire series, begin with presence. And remember that presence is merely a willingness. And this is why I want to offer you again the mantra of self-ascension, because the yoga of self-ascension is a non-dogmatic tradition that offers you an opportunity to recognize or re-cognize that your journey is as unique as you are. You know, was it not Gandhi who said there are as many spiritual beliefs as there are people? Your unique journey begins in the essence of simply relaxing and trusting you. So here's the mantra of self-ascension, and I want to invite you 4 lines, super easy, non-dogmatic. And I like my hands to my heart on that one. But it all begins with this I am, right? It's that embodiment of the I am. So the first one begins with, I am here. That's a call to action. I am here. It's your call to action. It's saying presence, right? I'm going to let all the chatter go. I'm going to clear my mind. I am here. Well, then after presence, I am ready. Because in saying you are available, then you want to declare that you are also really willing, right? I am here. I am ready. And then the next one is the release of all resistance, because resistance is what blocks us. And where does that come from? I am open. When we are open, we receive, and we are able to have that clarity. Everything comes forward with us. And in that steps forward the sincerity, which is the first molecule of miracles, right? Guide me. I am here. I am ready. I am open. Guide me. Ignites the miracle experience of the I am presence, which is sincerity, love, and, magic word, presence. Equals miracles every time.
And I'd just like to make a point. When we talk about presence, I think it's really difficult to be present 100% of the time. I don't even think one can achieve that because a little hummingbird may run by and you're like, oh, that's pretty. And you're in a conversation, or a loud noise captures you, or a thought takes you away. As you begin to step into being aware, be conscious of those moments and pull yourself back, because as we talked about earlier, that thought that took you away is just a thought. Release it. As in meditation, just send it out to the void and, come back to the present, into this moment.
I love that you're bringing this up, because this is a really important point, the point that we set ourselves up to fail. And we often set ourselves up to fail because we have these unrealistic expectations. Now, let's unravel that. How does that, I often call it the guru syndrome, which is that we tend to put people on pedestals after they're gone. We tend to set up these things these hurdles that we're never going to be able to go over. And this is why it's important to realize that your mastery is attained in that recognition, in the recognition that this level of a perception of perfection has frequently been created by dogmatic traditions that seek to limit your ability to trust you. Go ahead.
Kira, you said something so important, and it gave me a little bit of jolt.
Oh, we're jolting.
That word, expectation, something that we've talked about. When you truly experience and embrace yourself, it starts at the heart. You love yourself. As we shared, the more I love me, the more I love you, the more I love all. And that's just not me. That's you. Starts here, the heart, the love. That's where it all begins. And at that point, when one really, truly feels in being who they are, really comfortable, and in that love and excitement, as you share that, or just open that door for another to feel that, to not feel judged, to not feel that there's an expectation on them, where they can just be as well, be who they are. And we encourage you to work on that, in just be. Enjoy, love, feel free to be and express.
Feel free to be and express. And I love that you're sharing that, Hank, because that's that safety, right? The safety of knowing who you are, the safety of being comfortable in that. And when we navigate a world, and let's not forget that we're all here in this planetary thought body of fear, right? We chose, as you know, we chose to come here and navigate through fear. Not to avoid it, not to escape it, to navigate through it, to transcend through that. So if you're feeling afraid, don't beat yourself up. It's okay. If you're transiting your fear, yes, continue. Because here's the key. You mentioned about feeling good about, feeling safe in yourself, being aware. This is one of the things that I love when people come here. Over the years, when people have come here to 12 Hummingbirds, one of the things that I've always enjoyed the most is when people say, I've never been able to exhale like this. I've never been in a situation where there's zero judgment, where I'm able to be myself, where I'm able to say what I want to say, where I'm understood, where I feel really good. That's the I am presence in motion.
And I want to share a gift and something that really helped me. I've experienced in the past, and even at times now, and I'm sure you all have as well, where someone will say something and it hurts.
Yeah.
And you take it on. Or they do something that you don't feel comfortable with. What I have learned and what I practice is very simple. I just feel into it and say, thank God I am me. And I offer that to you, to thank God that you are you.
Yeah, I love that, because you are the most beautiful, unique thing that has ever been. And the blessing of that is when we open our eyes to see. You mentioned true beauty earlier, and I wanted to jump in on that again, to open our eyes to see the true beauty. And that's another beautiful discourse I would invite you to read, is the discourse on true beauty that's at iamkara.net. Just search true beauty and learn more about that. That came in from the Essene And when we see that true beauty, when we allow that, that's part of that I am presence. Now, the I am presence, let's talk about the I am in its existence. You know, this became very, very popular in the United States between the 1930s and 50s through the Ballards, and all of the I am work with Saint Germain and all of the beauty that has been held there. And actually here at 12 Hummingbirds, we're honored to have many of the original editions of those books in our museum. I'm bringing that up for a very specific reason. That information came in at a time when humanity was rising, when spirituality was growing, when we were awakening into our I am essence and understanding. Because I am, let us not forget that what is I am? It's a level of consciousness, right? It's a way of living. It's a conscious awareness. And this is a word we use a lot, conscious awareness. So what is conscious awareness? It's the moment that you remember who you are beyond that fear, beyond the doubt, beyond the hesitancy, and that you fall back in love with yourself. Knowing that is not egocentric. This is the misunderstanding. To love yourself is far from egoic. To love yourself is to ignite that essence of who you are into a greater experience of being, to be witnessing what is happening on this planet, and then be able to take the actions from your heart.
So Kira.
So Hank.
I am Kira.
And I am Hank.
And you are here at 12 Hummingbirds with us.
Indeed, in our beautiful water therapy center.
So Kira,
Yes.
what does the I am mean?
Ooh, what a great question. What does I am mean? Well, first of all, it means something a little different for everyone, right? Because you have a meaning, but then you also have an experience, and then you also have the feeling, right? Meaning, experience, and feeling. So what does it mean? Well, that's going to be unique to you. What is it experience? It's an experience of totality. It's an experience where our creation fully enters into our body, where we can command it all. And you know, this is something Hank and I are here modeling for you, right? Those of you that have known me on the air over the past 22 years, those of you that I have met, one of the things that you have witnessed is that through the embodiment of I am, through the embodiment of all of these energies, I am able to command this body of form. I am able to continually be restoring the vitality within my body. You're capable of that too. And I first learned that through the I Am books, through Saint Germain, who coded it all in the books. And that's where I was able to receive that information.
And authenticity?
Yes, that is the gift, is it not? So what is authenticity for you? What is authenticity? Because that's a word that's getting thrown around a lot. Yeah.
Well, authenticity is that place of integrity, that innate feeling of that freedom that I mentioned earlier, to really love thyself, experience thyself, and express that self openly, and as you said, in safety.
Yeah. And that's the big one. Because the safety, you know, one of the things that I know many of you have been writing in and ask about is, you know, the world right now is scary. Am I safe? I've even had people asking me, should I move to where you are? Where should I go? What's happening? Well, here's the key. Safety begins with you. You are able to make yourself safe. And I want to remind you, we've offered you this practice before, but if you're worried about your safety and you're trying to call in that energy, look at the word, S-A-F-E. You want to be safe? Hank mentioned it earlier. Stop. That's the S. Just
safety
stop.
is not just the physical safety. That's
Yes.
a whole other thing.
Exactly.
It's part of it for sure, and extremely important to feel safe in a physical sense. But that emotional safety, that is what, you know, we have each of us has the ability to control.
Yes.
You
And
know, without shame, without the need to hide, to recognize and understand that these early beliefs, they're actually, some of them are just non-truths, and they can take us in a place that are not serving who we really are. And actually, more than not serving, they are limiting. I have experienced it for a good part of my life. And when I finally realized that it was not true, things opened up beautifully.
that's that I am, right? In the claiming of the I am presence, you see the non-truth, right? Because that in that moment, that clarity comes in, that universal essence restores.
And it can happen in a split moment. It did for me.
Yeah. It really does. And I think for many people, it happens in that split moment. Sometimes it's like that instantaneous moment that took 20 years to achieve, or 60 years to achieve, or 70 years to achieve, because it doesn't matter. Age is irrelevant. Linear age is merely a way that we track in this field of potentiality, but let go of that. Whether you're 2 or 200, the wisdom is yours to claim.
So true, Kira. And I invite you to just step into the space. If you feel or have felt or at times do feel inadequate, it is really just a thought. You are not inadequate in any way, shape, or form. And come back to your heart. Come back to who you are. That authentic being, that one who shares openly, who loves thyself and loves all. Because that is such a beautiful place to start from. Come back into that place and recognize you are not inadequate. You are not that you're not good enough. You are. You are by far more than adequate. You are by far more than good enough. You are beautiful.
In every
beautiful
way.
In a physical sense and beautiful from within.
I love that, because that's really where it all comes down to. And I want to go back to what I was mentioning earlier. So what is the safe practice? Let me remind you of that again. SAFE. So if you're saying, okay, Hank, all right, Kira, this is great, but how do I do this? You can tell me everything you want, but how do I get there? I'm still not feeling this. So here's a couple practical things. Number one, safe. SAFE. S, stop. If something's got you by, if you're spinning out of control, if you're feeling your emotional body, as Hank was mentioning earlier, if you're having this issue, just stop. Hand to heart. Train hand to heart, because when you train to put your hand to your heart, even if you're not thinking about it, it sends an immediate signal to your body that you are here. It is a nourishing comfort. Stop. A, right? SAFE. Acknowledge. As Hank was mentioning earlier, as I was sharing with you, it's okay. It's okay if you're angry. It's okay if you're afraid. It's how you deal with it. It's how you move through it. So denying it or getting all self-judgmental only traps you.
Or packing it away.
Right? And that hurts you even more on a physical level. So SAFE, stop. Acknowledge to yourself, okay, I am here. I am feeling this. And that's what the F is. Feel your way through it. SAFE, stop. Acknowledge, feel, don't deny. Stuffing it only hurts everyone. It builds up for later. It will always come out again. If you don't deal with something in real time, it will show up in another way, and often it's a self-conscious sabotage. And then what's the E? Expand. Expand through it. This is the gift of saying thank you. And one of the things that we've talked about in this 14-part series, and there's been so much, and I really encourage you to go back and watch this entire series from the beginning. Make notes, pay attention, and say yes to you. Because our expansion is a moment of acceptance. It's when we can gaze into the mirror and love what we see. That's authenticity. When you can look in the mirror and know you're doing the best you can do given your level of consciousness at the time. You always are. Your level of consciousness is your veil. And so when we allow ourselves to expand, we see even more.
So Kira, how does the breath help in situations like this?
I love that question. I love that question. So how does the breath help? Well, first of all, I'm encouraging you to do the Ave Saw breath, which means we're inhaling through the nose, the word Ave, which is hello, hail, right? And we're exhaling Saw. Now, how does that help? It's that moment of presence. It's that moment of stop. It's that integration. Remember, in this body of form, we can live without food, we can live without water, but it's only minutes that we can live without air. So breath is the continually saying yes to the body of form and saying yes to being in this world.
And it brings you the gift to step back in that moment, regroup if necessary. And in dealing with things in the moment, that may or may not be the case. You may choose to hold off a little bit. It may be a better time. Remember, if someone is sharing with you, rather than express how you're feeling, let them share.
Yeah.
Think about it. Maybe come back later and say, I thought about what you were sharing, and I feel a little differently, but thank you so much.
Back to the thank you, right? And the active listening versus the passive silence, right? So this is what Hank is talking about, is that when we expand our conscious awareness, we ignite that when we are in communication with others, when we are with others, we clear our mind from wanting to pounce with our own response and really ignite with one thing: I want to hear you. We open up the gift of, I want to hear you. That is active listening versus passive silence, which is a resistive energy and blocks our creative flow.
I want to be heard. You want to be heard. Yeah. Being heard is so important, not only for yourself, yet for another as well.
Yeah.
So by listening and being present, people feel heard. Mm-hmm. They feel that sense of, maybe it's not the right word, power, but you're not pulling it back to you. You're opening that for them to share. And that's such a beautiful gift, to feel heard.
Oh my gosh, yes, because it makes you feel safe, right? To be heard feels safe and invites a depth of authenticity to come forward. All in the essence of I am. And I am is a state of peace. It is a state of knowing, and it is a state of creation where your harmonic frequency resonates with what's happening around you, thereby igniting miracles, the law of instantaneous manifestation, to unfold. And you know, it's continuing to unfold for you and I think, with every breath, Hank.
And I think it's also, that's so true. What I wanted to share in this moment is that I am, the beautiful thing about I am, about you are, is that it opens the door for another to be who they are. Uh-huh. So it's not just you are, it's that we are, they are. And that is really the essence. It opens that door for all of us to fully experience who we are, to feel safe, and foster that feeling within another, should they so choose, to be in a place without judgment, without expectation, and to be acknowledged and loved for who they are.
Oh my gosh, breathe that in. And I'm hearing some of you, as Hank's saying that, I'm hearing you go, okay, Hank, how? So let me give you some hows, right? There's a couple of hows. Number one, please visit iamkira.net. And the first thing I would suggest that you do is really go in and read. There are so many pages to read. I know it can be overwhelming, but trust your heart. Find, explore, look. And the other thing is to say yes to you often. When you say yes to you, hand to heart, in this moment I trust myself, mantra of self-ascension, this how. Because the work, here's the key. As Hank and I have been talking about through this entire series and are going to continue to be talking about in the next ones to come, it's up to you. It's a choice. And early on in this program, Hank mentioned, and I want to reiterate, that, you know, it's not always going to be easy, but it's worth the journey. It's to be conscious, to be present is a choice. And I have been working on conscious presence in the public realm for over 23 years and can say that I do feel much more anchored in a 24-hour sense of presence, because that it's continually there. And you know how I started with that? Here's something super easy. It was Archangel Zodkill all those years ago. One simple quote, and it always brings me back. So this is my easy how hack. Keep your eyes on the divine at all times. Now really breathe that in. When I look at Hank, my eyes are on the divine. When I look at you, my eyes are in the divine. If I keep my eyes on the divine at all times, it means that no matter what, and I walk through this every single day, as I know you do too, when anything is put in front of me that challenges me, when anything is said to me that may feel hurtful, when anything comes in front of me, my immediate default after 23 years of practicing this is thank you. Thank you for showing me what I need to look at. And keeping my eyes on the divine, what is being mirrored, and what in me, here's the conscious awareness hack, what in me invited this to be? Because it takes away all blame, shame, guilt, and says, okay, at the end of the day, I am. And in the levels of conscious awareness that lift us from the emotional body of this world, we get the blessing of witnessing our own response. So let me be clear, it doesn't mean you're not going to have that response. It means that you have the gift of witnessing it, growing through it, and really arriving into a space of the oneness I am.
So beautiful.
Thanks. Thank you, Hank. This whole series has been beautiful, and I'm just so excited about it because this has been a gift, and I feel so gifted that you and I, Hank and I coming together, as you know, has been another miracle on the planet, and I feel so gifted and honored that we have this co-creative ability to come together and share these insights. It's such a blessing.
As do I.
Yeah.
And that hand to heart,
Yeah.
as you come hand to heart, you can just feel and experience and really deeply embrace that beautiful being that you are. It'll take you there. It can take you there each and every time.
Yeah. Breathe, because it's worth the journey. And we are so excited that this series is culminating, and really we invite you to go back and watch them all. They're right here at this YouTube channel, the I series. All 14 are there together. We're going to be continuing, and next week we'll be starting with the next series that we're bringing out, and it's going to be a really beautiful dive into that unified field, into we and all that we are. And Hank, in all that we are, I do want to share that many of you have written us and said, oh my God, 12 hummingbirds, where you live, and as you can see, this beautiful water therapy center. We invite you to really dive deeper. Come down and spend one-on-one time with us. We are here always and available to work with you one-on-one, whether you want to come to Ecuador or go to the website. We're also available for mentoring and sessions. However, this July 31, as the world is shifting, because in July we will, on top of the 32-year cycle that we just entered April 25th, there's going to be an overlaying 12-year cycle that comes up in July. And so on July 31, the Ascended Realms have invited Hank and I to offer to those of you that are really ready for that work to get down here. Let's do this together. Together we are opening. And at a time on this planet when you chose to be here, so let the fear go, you're ready for this.
So it's together, not only with us, it's
Yes.
us together with you in this small group that we've opened the door to.
And we are excited. We will be in the Pyramid of Peace. We'll be here in the Water Therapy Center. We will be up at the Sacred Temple of Light, the very ancient archaeological site. And we will be with you here all the time at YouTube. Make sure that you leave us comments. We look at all of your comments. Make sure that you're subscribing, and make sure that with every moment you remember the gift of you. You are extraordinary. You are beautiful. And with every breath you are self-ascending. Never doubt yourself, because you're worth it.
So beautiful.
As you are.
We love you all, and thank you for joining us today.
Namaste.